So once I get it smooth, then I've got to reproduce the finish, the color. When I get the color right, then I can go with the finish. And the customer has already told me he doesn't really care about the cosmetics, but if it leaves this shop, I do. All I'm doing with this is barely scuffing that glossy finish so that the new finish will have something to adhere to. Just barely knocking that gloss off. I'll have to stain this area where I sanded the most. But anyway, I've got it scuffed from press checkering to press checkering, from bottom to top. Alright, I put a coat of stain on this, and I put one coat of finish a day ago, and now I'm just scuffing that finish, knocking the rough edges off of it. You want to get all the dust you can off of it, and then what I do is take a t-shirt. I think t-shirt is some of the best rag there is, and barely dampen it with a little paint thinner, just enough to attract that dust. Just give that just a little bit of dampness with paint thinner. And the dampness in that rag will attract that dust like a dust cloth. It's called a tack rag. They used to laugh at painters for doing this, but there's something to it. The more dust you can remove off that surface, the better your finish goes on. Now, because paint thinner and this finish are the same base, they're both oil based, and I've been putting this on with my fingers. They recommend rubbing it with your fingers, so that's what I've been doing. But I'm trying to figure out if maybe I can put this stuff on with a spray gun before it's over with. I'm going to figure out what I can get away with on this. This is not the product I've been using for many years, which is Permalin. This is a different stuff. I can't get Permalin anymore. I don't know what happened to it. If anybody does know what happened to Permalin and the company, Laurel Mountain Forge, please let me know, because they seem to have vanished off the face of the earth. I've sent them emails. I've tried to buy it from the factory. I've tried to buy it from everybody that used to sell it. Everybody says that they're out of stock and don't know when they'll get it. But this is a tongue oil urethane reinforced tongue oil finish, and we're going to just see how good it is. It doesn't tack out as quickly as Permalin did. It takes longer to dry. Permalin would tack out and you could start rubbing it in about 5 minutes and it was tacky. You had to stop. This stuff recommends actually waiting 12 to 24 hours between coats, depending on your conditions, temperature and humidity and all that. That's my second coat of finish. I'm guessing at this rate it's probably going to take 4 or 5, maybe 6 coats for that to. I want it to blend into this color, this sheen, and I want it to have no visible effect from that scar. I can't have any of this epoxy sticking out in the way of slipping this action back in here. This receiver's got to have clearance, and this surface right here is this smooth surface. It can't be anything protruding out from that. So this bottom one is my main one that I've got to work on. Now what I don't want to do is expose that metal. Those little splints I put on there, they cannot be exposed. If they're exposed, then they can rust. And I don't want that. They've got to be completely encased. But the rest of these feel like they're down below the surface that they need to be. Maybe that one right there, I may need to work on it just a little bit. Keep in mind, I've let this epoxy dry for about 3 days, so it's hard. There's nothing soft or gummy about it. If you try to do this too quick, it'll be gummy, it'll clog up your files, and you can actually, if you try to do it way too quick, you can actually loosen the bond and get it, it'll be, well, it's problematic. Just don't do it till it's hard enough you can file it and make dust. The back of this receiver has got to slip in to this space that I just got done filing. And it does. With every coat I do this thing just gets slicker and slicker. Alright, this is 600. I've been using 400. It's getting slicker and slicker. When you're doing a repair on an existing stock that's already got checkering on it, you need to be careful about filling up the grooves on this checkering with oil, because it will gravitate towards that and it'll fill them up, and it looks really bad. It's hard to get it out of there without recutting all the checking. This is actually press checking. It's that basket weave stuff that people got crazy about in the 60s. So you really need to be careful about not flooding your checkering with it. Just kind of get it close to it and don't really put it in it. If you do get it in there, you can take a dry paintbrush and kind of mop it out, or even a Q-tip. The problem with Q-tips and finish is those little cotton hairs. They're kind of like steel wool. Steel wool gets hairs. I really don't like using steel wool when I'm finishing anything because of the little hairs it leaves. Scotch-Brite, either red or gray. I use about 10 times more gray than red because it's finer. The red is pretty abrasive. So you can get gray Scotch-Brite at a good paint store, not a Lowe's or a Home Depot, but a paint store, a real paint store. I'm starting to like this finish. This is the first time I've used it. I tried it on some sample pieces at first. It's very, very thin. It's the thinnest stuff I've ever used. So it takes multiple coats to fill up the grain and seal it well. But I do like the end result. And I haven't tried it with anything except my fingers. There are some people that say you can use a swatch of cloth for anything you can put on with your fingers. They say that you can use a piece of cloth, but I'm very leery of lint, so jury's still out on the cloth. went ahead and put my mounting lug in the back, and I have the bolt held back by a block of wood inside there, because you have to have the bolt back to slip this thing in. And to try to hold a stock in position and hold the bolt back and push this in all at the same time, this is a very, very difficult gun to disassemble and reassemble. That bolt's got to be back. Once you get that bolt back, the rest of it is not bad. Now, I haven't tried to pull the bolt back and forth and work the action yet. I don't think it would be the same if I tried to do that without all these mounting screws in place. So I got to put these in first, and then I'm going to work that very, very, very slowly and see if I get any kind of resistance. A piece of wood may fall out the bottom. Like that. Okay. I feel absolutely no scraping, no resistance. Now the owner has a clip, so I can't fire this, but that's going to be the ultimate test. Once I get it, I'm going to put the clip in it here in a couple of days. He's coming into town. But as far as a repair, I like it. I think it turned out well. There's a crack on that side. If you look for it, you can see it. But other than that, the repair, I think, turned out pretty good. Matching the finish turned out pretty close. It's a little slicker than this, because this has wear marks on it, and there's no wear marks back on here. This has been newly done. So there's going to be a little tiny bit of, but the difference is, do you make a new stock for $800 or $900 as opposed to just do this one, use the one you got? And he chose to have it repaired. I'm pretty good with the finish. I like that finish. This is the first gun I've tried it on. I've tried it on some sample pieces, but this is the first actual firearm I've tried it on. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably ask for some feedback from the owner to give me some feedback in the next year or two to see how this holds up compared to the original. Well, thanks for choosing to spend your time here with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this program. I'll try to post a new segment each weekend. In addition, if you'd like to read about a stock that I made and then it took a 20-foot free fall, click on the link at the bottom of this page. It's called The Broken Gun. It's a story I wrote a few years ago about my two boys. Sometimes life's hard and things get broken. Now and then we get a chance to fix them. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I had to repair this broken stock. It led to a restoration that I never could have imagined. As always, if you like this video, please click the like button and share this with your friends. Have a great day.